Thank you for joining us to celebrate Dream Big. So many things have changed this year, but there's one thing that's remained the same: you and your incredible support of our program. We have a lot to celebrate, perhaps most importantly, that our doors at ICAN remain open to the Chandler community's most vulnerable youth. We are also incredibly excited to share that we were able to launch our second after-school program site at Galveston Elementary School on October 13th. Programs like these are needed now more than ever as our community faces shortfalls in access to low-income childcare. We do intend to continue to offer and to provide more of these site-based after-school programs over the next 12 months, and we would love your support as we travel down that journey. There are so many people to thank. First and foremost, our staff, our board of directors, our incredible volunteers, and the sponsors of this event. Without you, we wouldn't be here. And I can't imagine the number of changes that you've seen come through your inbox. We're so grateful that you have stuck by us through all of them. Thank you so much. We need your support now more than ever to continue to serve these vulnerable kiddos.
What do you hope ICAN looks like in 10, 20 years?
Well, I hope it continues to be because ICAN just keeps improving as the needs are needed. Whatever needs are the community needs, ICAN has it. Whether it's education for the drugs or whatever the needs are required, ICAN seems to adapt to that need.
I think it was around mid-March where everything just nationwide collapsed. So around March, the whole company had to shut down. It's fair to say everyone here was scared. We were scared for our health, we were scared for our community, we were scared for our employment. ICAN represents a community where I grew up. And the kids that I work with look exactly like the kids that I grew up with, if not the kid I looked at in the mirror every day. So to me, it's being able to, I know that I made it out. I know that statistically I'm probably okay. Now it's my job to push these kids to be where I am. I feel like if it wasn't for someone that was probably in the same position that I was growing up, I maybe wouldn't be sitting in this chair. As soon as the pandemic hit, we just thought, how can we transition and how can we reach them? We never stopped and said, oh my God, it's over. ICAN as an establishment is gone. We just thought, hey, okay, we can't have kids in our building. We can't have families here for family nights. What are we doing? How are we reaching them? So I think we never gave up because we never thought about giving up. It just never seemed like an option. It never seemed like an opportunity. We just never made it one. The first meeting that we had about COVID, as soon as it all shut down, the first thing was, how are we gonna reach our youth? And I can't recall specifically who in the company said it, but someone just said, what if we created like to-go packages with activities? And everyone jumped on board. It wasn't even a thought. Everyone just said, yes, okay, let's brainstorm. Within a week, we already had a set plan, an idea, and emotion. In the first week, we did 100 packages between Berlin and I. At one point towards the end, we were making 500 every week. We were distributing at like 4 or 5 sites. So it was amazing just to see that progression. And it happened just within that week. Just one person just said, hey, what if we did this? And everyone just really took it to heart that this is how we were gonna reach the community, and we did. The fact that we were able to put ICAN in a bag and send it home to them just meant the world. We had this specific girl that I remember, Berlin and I, she came up and hugged her ICAN package because it just meant so much to her. And her mom just said she loves crafts. Like, you don't understand. Just knowing that you had such an impact on these kids where maybe historically was the worst summer of their life, you were giving them some kind of good output, it just really made a difference. I can't express how much these packages light up like these kids' face. And if I get a little emotional, it's because I just remember how I could see my kiddos coming from ICAN and not being able to see me or my other class member or my other coworkers in the classroom, but then having them able to take just a tiny bit of that home. and having like how much that meant to them because they're here back now, how much that meant to them day in and day out. It's just really, I don't know, words can't express how much that meant to us. I honestly, sincerely do not think that we would have made it if we wouldn't have had the support from the community. Honestly, we wouldn't be past June if we wouldn't have had all those donations. Which would be insane. We would have lost 6 months. Yeah, we would have probably lost 6 months if it wasn't because of all those donations. But the first day, as soon as they walked into the door, I cannot express. It was 2 months of quietness inside of this building. And then you have what these kids do to this building, which is just bring it to life. And there had not been that feeling inside of this building in so long. And as soon as those first kids and that first roar happened, you just felt alive. And it wasn't like anything that you had felt in the last 2 months. It was amazing. And it was the reason why we're here. Once we got the news that CUSD had made the choice that everything was going to be online, and we quickly spurred into action. It was the same thing that happened with the packages. It was really within a week, we already had a plan. We transitioned all of our classrooms from summer programming, after school, having fun, to all of a sudden we became a full-on set classroom. Every single classroom here had a computer with internet access, had a station for every kiddo. So every kid came in every single day into their own workstation, had their online work set for them on the whiteboard, and we became their school. We were working as their tutor, as their teacher, as their facilitator, as their role model, as their helper, and no one here asked if really we could do it or not. We just knew we had to, and everyone stepped up to the plate and everyone did it. Ever since I got hired in this company, there was a talk of expansion. There's room for growth, and our biggest growth right now is gonna be Galveston. And this was in December of last year. And then COVID happened. March came and derailed everything, or it seemed like it was gonna. Myself, I was worried and nervous how that was gonna transition, that was gonna happen. We were gonna be going into a classroom at a school in the height of COVID. It just did not seem like a viable option at all. Before COVID, we were reaching numbers of 150 to 200 students every single day. So how can we serve this community and Galveston or Hartford or San Marcos? How can we reach those kids and still be in that community? It was going into that classroom, into that school. And so we've done an amazing job not stopping and not skipping a beat. We really have not stopped. It was not even a thought. Leadership never even blinked. We just continued going forward. And now we're at Galveston. Just the fact that what we do as a community, we serve so many kids, so many families, and not just that, but the alumni, and I would call them the alumni that come out of ICAN, is really felt. I've myself personally been walking down downtown Chandler with an ICAN shirt going to lunch and have someone randomly, an adult, stop me and say, "Hey, you work at ICAN." I went there, I worked there, I volunteer there, I something, but somehow ICAN reached me. And I don't think that would have happened if ICAN wasn't free and accessible to everyone. I've, in a sense, already made it. I'm okay. Now it's my turn to make sure that these kids know that they can still make it, and they can still do something with themselves, and they can still reach potentials that they don't even know they have. And if there's not someone like me that comes and pushes and tells them, maybe they won't hear it.
For those that don't know me, I'm Edward Upshaw, now retired commander from the Chandler Police Department. And I was one of those people that was here with Henry and shared his vision, his dream for what ICAN has become today. I know Henry would be so proud that everything that he dreamed has come to fruition, and I'm sure we've exceeded those expectations. But the ability for ICAN to adapt, especially what's happened in this country the last 6 to 7 months, ICAN has adapted and continued to serve the needs of these kids as great as anyone else has. And if you've heard, it is expanding. It is providing even more services to more people and better serving the community of Chandler. So we need your support now as much as ever. All right, ICAN has proven its success. It is doing exactly what's needed in this community for our kids. And so please continue to do that, to give us the support, and don't forget to donate. Do it now.